Today, I'm going to attempt the impossible and compile a list of the all time starting lineup for OU softball. Now, as much as I've thought about what this team should look like, I don't expect everyone to agree with my list. So if you agree, disagree, you've got your own thoughts, drop them in the comments and be sure to like and subscribe as well for more OU softball content. But let's get right to it and let's start with the most critical position. Who is in the circle on this all time OU team? Now, obviously, some great pitchers in OU history. I could go with Jennifer Stewart here, who carried OU to a 2000 championship. Paige Parker, who carried OU to a championship. Heck, even Jordy Ball was fantastic in her last year at OU. But 1 week ago, I said that Kalani Ricketts is on my OU softball Mount Rushmore because she's the greatest two-way player of all time. If I think Kalani's on the Mount Rushmore, I can't not have her in the circle. So give me Kalani Ricketts as the starting pitcher for this all-time OU softball team, the greatest two-way player that OU softball has ever seen, and a magnificent pitcher in the circle. You'll see a trend that these are really impossible decisions, and catcher was no exception. Another impossible decision behind the plate as we fill out the battery. Tried not to have a ton of recency bias with players who just won a national championship less than a week ago, but hey, when you win 4 straight titles, you're probably going to be thought of as one of the best at your position. I could go with Heather Scaglione, who was absolutely incredible during her OU career. I really thought about Jessica Schultz, won a national championship at OU as both a player and an assistant coach as well. But I can't go against Kinzie Hansen. So many big hits, so much power. All three are fantastic defensively, yes, but it's K9's power that puts it over the top for me. Recency bias, okay, maybe a little bit, but it's hard to argue that Kinzie Hansen isn't the best catcher at OU softball history. Now we move to first base, and this one is maybe the most star-studded lineup that you could have here. This one's ridiculous. I've got 2 home run queens to pick from, the OG home run queen, the new home run queen, and probably the most clutch player in OU history to choose from as well. I could go Jocelyn Allo, I could go Lauren Chamberlain, I could go Shay Knighton. How do you pick between those three? Well, maybe I found a way for all 3 of those to be on the team, just a little bit of a hint. But for first base, I'm going with Lauren Chamberlain, the OG home run queen. Gotta have 44 in the lineup, maybe a little bit underrated defensively as well. Give me Lauren Chamberlain at first base. Second base, a lot of great players here, but this is actually one of the easier decisions only because Tiare Jennings was so incredible throughout her career. Obviously, there's still some incredible candidates here. Amber Flores was a 3-time All-American. Kaylee Clifton, it hurts me not to have her bat in this lineup. But go look at an offensive statistic, and you're probably going to see Tiare Jennings. OU at all time, NCAA softball all time, ranked very, very high on the list. She could do it defensively. She could do it offensively. You can't leave Tiare Jennings off of this team. The 4-time champ is my starting second baseman for the all-time OU team. Shortstop, oh boy, what do I do here? I could go with Kelly Bright, who was an All-American, 2000 national champ, and an amazing human being. I could move Shelby Penley over to short because she could play so many different positions. She's that versatile. But nobody has the defensive ability that Grace Lyons has. And I don't mean just at shortstop. I mean overall defensively. For my money, give me Grace Lyons and Jada Coleman as the 2 greatest defensive softball players in OU history. There could be better offensive options here other than Grace Lyons. You can absolutely argue that. But it's Grace's glove at shortstop that stands out among the rest. Of course, her amazing leadership as well. But it's her defense that takes her over the top. I got Grace Lyons as my starting shortstop on this all OU team. Third base, like every other position, next to impossible. Shelby Penley was a massive part of OU winning the 2013 national championship. She hit well over 400 her final 2 seasons at OU. So versatile that I could put her in several other spots, shortstop included. Alyssa Brito was fantastic defensively, amazing offensively. She brought so much to the table. But Sydney Romero, I got to have Sydney Romero as my third baseman. Find a stat that you think is important. Sid is going to be sitting right there at the top of the list. She helped lead OU to a couple of national championships during her career. Not a weak point in Sid Romero's game. She could do it all. I'm rolling with Sid Romero at third base because of her top-tier play at every single category on the field. To the outfield, and I freestyled in one of these positions, but let's start with, I think, the obvious in center field. And yes, there's a lot of great center fielders in OU history. There's no doubt, no disrespect to any of those great players. But it's Jada Coleman. She's got to be the automatic. She's the best defensive player in college softball history, in my opinion. I don't think this one is recency bias. It's just the fact that Jada is the best to ever do it. And though I don't think Kalani Ricketts is going to be giving up very many hard hit balls, just in case that happens, Jada will be there to back her up if she does. Too many defensive highlights to even consider leaving Jada Coleman off of this team. 24 is patrolling center field for me. Left field, and here's a very underrated player just because of the time that she played.
Narelle Dixon,
who played from 2004 to 2007, gets the nod for me in left field. First player in Big 12 history to have over 300 hits, 200 runs, 100 stolen bases in her career. Incredible. Also the Big 12 Player of the Year throughout her OU career as well. She can hit, she can run, she can play the outfield. That's good enough for me. She's my starting left fielder. Also thought about Christy Ring, also thought about Kristen Vestley, thought about a lot of players here, but give me Noelle Dixon in left field. Right field, and here's the one that I freestyled a bit. Shay Knighton is my starting right fielder. She's too clutch. She's just too good of a hitter to leave off of this team. I'd love to put a Nicole Mendez in right field. I'd love to put a Riley Boone out in right field. Heck, I'd love to put a Shelby Pinley just to get her bat in the order in right field. But Shay's one of the all-time greats, and I wouldn't doubt for a second that she could play right field at a very, very high level. One of my favorites of all time, maybe my single favorite OU softball player of all time. I don't expect this team full of legends to be in a close game. I don't think that that would happen. But just in case they are, I'd rather have Shay Knighton than any other hitter in this order come up to the plate in a clutch moment. Shay Knighton, my starting right fielder. DH designated player, you know it's Jossie, right? Jocelyn Alo, the home run queen now and maybe the home run queen forever, hitting right in the middle of the order of this all-time team. And though she has legends surrounding her in the lineup, in front of her and behind her, I would guess that teams would still try to pitch away from her as much as possible, maybe still intentionally walk her. I've got a 78 in this lineup, and it's Jocelyn Alo, the greatest hitter in college softball history. I guess we got to have a head coach as well. Well, I'll just stick a GOAT over there. Not much more needs to be said. So that's my list. Leave in the comments where you think I got it right. Leave in the comments where you think I got it wrong. And as always, thank you for watching.